Hi! I'm going to give it just a minute because sometimes the audio doesn't work and I don't want to restart a video. So I'm going to wait for some people to hop on real quick. Hey! Hi, can you guys hear me okay? Hi. Hi, yay, perfect. I'm gonna give it just a couple, maybe an extra minute for people to jump on. Invite your friends, share the video. I hope everybody came prepared with questions. I'm super excited about tonight. If you tuned in last night, we went over all the products that we sell. And tonight I'm going to share with you my personal story and journey with this business and answer your guys' questions, okay? So we will get to the questions ASAP. And like I said, feel free to share this video because even if you don't feel like you're interested in something like this, there might be somebody on your timeline who has been praying for an opportunity like this and they really need it and you could be helping somebody. So feel free to share. I'm putting it into the event. So this is like my first public event. I usually do a private event. And anytime I go live in the private events, it keeps the live video in the event. And what we found out last night was it posted my product one to my Facebook page. And it was confused as to what happened. It didn't even go into the event. So I just shared this video into the event. It's doing the same thing. It's just on my personal page. So next time I'm just going to do private events and hopefully it stays into the event next time. Hi, everybody. All right, one more second. I'm trying to finish this. This is my skinny coffee. Wifey, my little Ray Dunn mug. It's my keto coffee and chocolate grains. Yes, I drink it at night. So I get to determine my own schedule and when I work and stuff. And I'm going to get into it later, but basically I work late, so I drink coffee at night. And it's delicious. Hi, you guys. I'm so excited. Hi. Okay. Let me chug this last bit down. Okay. Of course, I'm out of water. Okay, you guys. So I'm gonna get started. Okay, my comments and everything are coming in okay. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do, you guys, I'm going to share with you my story and my journey with this business, what it has done for me, and I'm going to go over oh God, one of my dogs farted. I'm going to go over basic information about the company and kind of a little bit of the logistics, answer everybody's questions, and basically figure out what's holding you guys back from starting and kind of going over those fears and acknowledging them and getting over them. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Caitlin Hoffman. I just turned 29 years young. I am a Marine Corps wife and a mom of 2 kids and 3 dogs. I count the dogs in there because there's 3 of them and they're high maintenance. And so my life is, crazy, but basically my journey with this business started 2.5 years ago. And to kind of set the stage a little bit, you guys, this was never something I envisioned doing. I hate sales. When I was young, I've always been driven by being financially stable. I wanted to never struggle. It's stemmed from being really young, and I'm not sure why, because if we ever struggled, like if my parents ever struggled, I didn't really know it. They did a really good job of hiding it if we did. I had a very blessed childhood, but basically, you know, back then I was like, okay, so if I'm going to make a lot of money one day and just be financially stable and kind of get to do what I want, like, what do I need to do? And the obvious route for me was, okay, you need to be a doctor. Because, like, to me, was like, who made the most money. I was like, okay, I can do that. And basically, I can do anything I put my mind to, really. And so I worked really hard in high school. My plan was to be a veterinarian because I love animals. And I kind of changed my mind my senior year of college, but that didn't like mess up any of my classes. So I graduated high school with a 3.8, and I earned a full tuition scholarship to Shawnee State University in Portsmouth, Ohio. So I obviously went there. It was like free tuition, right? Well, so if I could go back in time, I just would have got an apartment. But I ended up paying room and board. So I still graduated college with like 30 grand in school loans because I was stupid and didn't really understand how everything worked. So anyways, I still ended up having debt when I graduated. It's gone now, but still. So anyways, I was going to school. I was in pre-med classes. I had like 19 credit hours each semester, all 4 semesters. And if I could go back in time, you guys, the only thing I would change is that I would have joined this business when I was 18, which was in high school. Because in college, I didn't have any extra time to spare. I wanted to make sure, because my original plan was to get into vet school, that I needed good grades. I couldn't spend my extra time going out and working a job where I couldn't study. My classes were hard, you guys. I had organic chemistry 1 and 2. I had advanced human anatomy with cadavers. I had biochemistry, biotechnology, genetics, all that stuff. Like, I took all that pre-med stuff. My senior year, like I said, I kind of changed my mind because I was talking to my husband, actually, and he's like, do you know pharmacists make more money? I was like, no. So, hey, Erica. So I ended up switching roles, and I was like, you know what? I'll just be a pharmacist then. They make more money. So my plan was to take the PCAT, go to pharmacy school, get my PharmD, and just kind of go there. I was going to be a doctor, you guys. Well, anyways, in college, you know, my parents didn't give me money. Like, I've always been very independent. I bought my first vehicle because I worked my butt off and saved my money. And I was just like a server and a hostess. You know, I didn't have a fancy job I worked at Pizza Hut. So I hated and loved working Friday nights. It was a love-hate because I made a lot of money, but it was super stressful. I hate the smell of like coming home from fast food, like the greasy smell. It like never goes away, and it smells the same no matter like where you work. If you work in any kind of food industry, you end up just smelling like grease. I hated that smell. I stunk. But that's like what I did. And so in college, because I wanted A's and B's, you guys, I didn't get a single C in college, okay? All of those classes, 19 credit hours, didn't have a break. I was like, well, I'm like a broke college student, so what am I going to do for money? I cannot go out and start waitressing somewhere and do like a 6-hour shift and have no time to study, because then I wouldn't sleep, because I would have to study for everything I had going on because I wanted good grades. And so I actually ended up working for our school library. The most they would allow a student to work was 16 hours a week. So I worked 16 hours because I needed the most money I could make. And what was nice is the library is quiet, and after you got your duties done, you could sit there and study. So how perfect was that for me? I needed somewhere where I could study and make money. So I made sure, you know, I got all my work done. It wasn't hard work, but, you know, I had to kind of break everything down and schedule myself. But anyways, I still found time to play Bejeweled. Who used to play that on Facebook? Bejeweled. I used to play that all the freaking time. Candy Crush. I'm trying to think. Pinterest was sort of starting to become big, but there was Stumble Upon, maybe, I think, was something I used to browse around on and like share things to my Facebook. I just know that I spent some time on social media in college, despite my crazy busy schedule. Anytime I was bored, needed a break, was always on. So I know I had time in college. Despite having that super busy schedule, I still had time to be on social media. I could have been doing this business in college. That when I turned 18, like I said, I turned 18 in my senior year, right before I started my senior year, actually. because I got held back in preschool. My parents held me back an extra year, so I was like older than everybody in my class. So anyways, the college thing, you know, working in the library was kind of perfect, but I was making $200 every 2 weeks. So I was making $400 a month, working 16 hours during the week on top of my 19 credit hour classes. And I think I worked all 4 years. I can't remember if I started my freshman year or not. I had to have, because I know I didn't have any other job, and like to afford food and gas, I had to, because I didn't have another job. So yeah, so what ended up happening basically is in between my sophomore and junior year, my husband and I got married. He is in the Marine Corps. He is now a second lieutenant in the Marine Corps, but at the time I think he was just I don't know if he's still watching. If you're watching, babe, what were you? Like a Lance Corporal or something when we got married? I don't know. We got married in 2010. So I now had his help. He was helping with my cell phone bill. And he actually sort of gave me an allowance each week or each paycheck, I think, of his. It was really sad. I was a poor college student, but I was working my butt off because I knew that all the time that I had invested studying and getting these good grades was going to help me, you know, get into the next phase of life, get my PharmD, and start making the real money. I knew it was going to take some, you know, challenging times and sacrifices, and so I kept working towards that. I graduated. My husband and I, he lived in California when we got married. And he was there for 3 or 4 years. But you guys, I had a full tuition scholarship to this college where I couldn't leave that to go be with him even though we were married. So I was like, well, just go back to Cali. And so we didn't have a honeymoon. And I just went to college. We got married in August. So I was about ready to start my junior year of college. So we couldn't really go anywhere and do anything. Like I said, we were broke. And when I graduated college, I was like, well, I'm tired of being apart. Like, we need to live together. I'm going to move to California. So I actually didn't end up taking my PCAT yet or applying to any pharmacy schools like my friends that like were in college with me, because I knew he only had a year left. A year and a half left in Cali. So I didn't want to start a pharmacy program in California and a year later have to move to like East Coast, which is where we are now. I didn't know that's where we were going, but there was that chance that we were going to move, and I didn't want to deal with leaving a doctorate program, trying to transfer credits. Everybody has different standards for getting into schools anyway, so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to work. We're going to chill. Maybe it'll be time to start a family while I have this break. Because once I start pharmacy school, I'm not going to want to have a kid during that time. And then I'm going to be old by the time we have our first kid. So in my mind, I was like, this is a perfect chance to have kids. Well, I moved out there after I graduated in May 2012. He actually left June or July to deploy to Okinawa, Japan for 7 months. 6 or 7 months. So I just moved out to California, waited like 2 years for this moment to have him just leave me a month later. I didn't have family. I was literally on the other side of the country. I had like 1 or 2 friends that I had just known because of him. And we had talked on social media and stuff, so we were able to like build a relationship before I got there. I ended up babysitting for this amazing family, and it came as a referral from a friend who was leaving there, moving from Cali to go somewhere else. So I was kind of taking over her job. I was babysitting 1 kid for this amazing family from like 7 to 12, or 7 to 12 or something, 7 to 2. The mom was a teacher, and she got out like school time. And then I had the rest of the day to myself. They paid me like $300 a week. It was like bomb. Oh my gosh, you lived in Okie? I never actually went. I stayed in Cali. I don't know how I feel if we have to end up ever living overseas. I really hope that that's not something we do. I don't know. I like it here. Maybe visiting, but I don't know if I could live there. But anyways, so I felt like I was making bank. I was making $300 a week doing something really easy, babysitting, and then I had the rest of the time to myself. to work. I got in like the best shape of my life because college was not kind to me. In high school, I had cheerleading. Like I did football, basketball, and competitions. It was literally year-round activity. We practiced almost like, it felt like every day, at least 3 times a week for like 2 or 3 hours. I could eat whatever I wanted, and I never worked out. I just went to practices, and I was like skinny. I graduated high school at like 120. Okay, I'm 5'7", and college, like I said, I didn't have time to do much else other than study, and worked in the library. So I didn't do much partying either because I was with my husband, married, and so I didn't really get the college experience either in that case. So I ended up getting tubby. My face was really fat, my cheeks were, it was fat for me. I wasn't like huge, but like for me saying I was like chubby, it was just fat for me. I'd never been that big before. So moved to Cali, wasn't in school. I didn't have anything else to do besides babysit. I ended up, you know, getting back in shape, tanning, taking care of myself. My husband got back from Okie, and we decided to start trying for a family. And it actually took us 6 months. It was one of those things where I was like doing everything in my power to like know when I was ovulating and stuff, and it was super stressful. And the month that I decided to like chill out was the month we got pregnant. And then we found out we were going to be moving, and we were going to go to North Carolina, which is where I'm at right now. And we've been here, gosh, a little over 4.5 years now. And I was like, well, crap, you know, I'm going to have to start looking for some kind of like work from home things. Do those exist? So I would like Google some things, and I ended up falling victim to 2 scams. One of them ended in a police report, and the other one we lost just a little bit of money. It was like $60 or something, but I was really desperate to try to find something from home. Being a stay-at-home mom was like not in the cards for me. That is not what I wanted at all. Like I said, I did not work my ass off in high school and college and get like literally I graduated high school with a 3.8. I took like 3 AP classes in high school too. I had calculus in high school. I'm not saying this to brag. It was just like I worked my ass off. And then college, I graduated with a 3.67 after everything. I didn't have a single C in any of my classes. So I did not work what feels like my entire life to be a stay-at-home mom and not use my degree. Graduate from college, have 30 grand in debt, and work my butt off and sacrifice my life up to that point to not use my degree. So even though I was going to we were going to have a family, start a family, it was not my intention to be a stay-at-home mom, okay? I didn't want to be one of those statistics of like, oh yeah, well, I went to school for this, but like I don't even use my degree and I'm here working at, you know, whatever. I didn't want to be that person. That was not going to be me. I'm not the type of person kind of quit something I started. So I hate like losing and failing. So like just even competition with myself, I was like, no, you're not going to like quit that. So anyways, when we moved here, I was 8 months pregnant with my son. We had a cat and a dog, and we drove from California to North Carolina in December. And so I'm not even going to go into that trip. But nobody was going to hire me here in North Carolina, walking in the door, 8 months pregnant, looking like I had a big old basketball in my belly. I know people can't discriminate, but they knew if they had hired me, I would have to go on maternity leave right after. And so since we had just moved into a new place, not only did we have to like organize and get the baby's room ready and stuff, I was going to go into labor in the next month. And I had to go meet my new doctor. I literally like saw my doctor twice before he actually didn't even deliver my son because he was on vacation. So yeah, it was a whole ordeal. I was like, I'm not even going to mess with the work thing. I think people normally go back to work after like, 6 to 8 weeks. So I was like, we'll do that. I'll start the breastfeeding. That was really something I wanted to do. And then we'll kind of go from there, and I'll start looking for like pharmacy technician things. And while I was pregnant, I actually got a certificate for being a pharmacy technician. So while I was pregnant, and even after he was born, I didn't even finish the classes until after he was born. I had that certificate. So once it was time, I had this extra credit, you know, and title that I could go start applying in pharmacies. Because, like, I want to be a pharmacist. So, like, I would really like to have a job that puts me in a pharmacy where I can start, like, you know, getting used to everything. That makes sense, right? So we can plan out our entire lives, which is what I thought I had done. Everything. I was like, I want a boy first and then a girl when it came to kids. That's what I ended up getting by, you know, the grace of God. But, like, I had my entire life planned out. And then they laid my son on my chest after he came out from what was a grueling 24-hour labor. Changed everything. I'm going to start crying. Changed everything for me, and I can't even begin to explain that feeling of what happened for me, and maybe this happens to, like, every mom, I don't know, but I knew right then and there that there was no way I was going to leave him. There was no way. It was just this instant love and connection, and, you know, we're a military family, you guys. I did not have... You know, my mom is not here, my dad, my family, nobody is here. We just moved here. I didn't know anybody, didn't trust anybody. I qualified for WIC when I was pregnant in California, and that actually helped us a lot. But when we moved here to North Carolina, I no longer qualified because even though my husband took a pay cut coming here because the cost of living is way more expensive in California, so they adjusted his pay when he moved here to like way less than what he was making. Not only was I not babysitting and working anymore, he took a pay cut and we didn't qualify for WIC. I was like, you're serious, right? Or you're joking. Because we made more in California and qualified, but we don't qualify now. And she goes, every state is different. We have different standards. I'm sorry. So I was like, well, shit. Like, that was one of the things that I was contributing to our family. And so, you know, we were able to pay our bills. I had student loans. We had a car payment. And my husband actually used his reenlistment bonus to pay off my Civic, which he paid for it to begin with, by the way. But he paid the rest of it off using his reenlistment bonus. That man is super selfless, and I can't repay him enough for everything he's done for this family. But, yeah, it was kind of like a slap in the face, but there was no way I could leave him with a stranger or felt comfortable putting him in daycare. Daycare, after I looked it up, was ridiculously expensive. And so we ended up, you know, my husband kind of understood my wanting to stay home and, like, care for my child. I wanted to be that, like, everybody has their own standards for how they want to be, and, like, the mom I wanted to be was the one that stayed home. I didn't miss any milestones. I was there for everything. They're only young once. I didn't want to miss anything, and I understand that that's not for everybody, and I'm not saying that if you want to be successful in this business, you have to be a stay-at-home mom or a parent at all. I'm not saying that at all, but for me, this was my journey, and, you know, I didn't have this business yet. It was, you know, we kind of just, we made our payments, and we kind of had to watch what we were doing, but I started getting into photography, which is something that, like, was a hobby of mine. I'm actually quite good at it, and so I started, like, pitching in for photography, and I started babysitting in home, so that way not only did I not have to go anywhere and I could watch my child, like, I was making money. It was like $100 to $150 a week watching my best friend's kid and another lady in the neighborhood's kid. So it was super easy for me. Like, I've literally been babysitting my entire life, so that was, like, the easy money. I was contributing. I was trying to help cover, you know, gas and groceries. If I could do that, like, I would be doing enough to, you know, I would cover that. My husband was taking care of the bills, and, like, we would be floating by, right? We'd just be, you know, making it paycheck to paycheck just fine and, like, not really struggling much. So, I got pregnant 9 months later, and I wasn't feeling well. I ended up having to stop the photography. It was really emotional. My son was really young. Sydney was planned. We just didn't expect it to happen as fast as it did, because Mason took like 6 months and Sydney took 2. So it was not really expected to happen right away. But we knew we wanted him close in age to kind of just get it over with. I was like, I'm already used to not sleeping, so let's just throw another one into the mix so I don't have to, like, get used to sleeping and then go back to, like, a newborn life. So, we got pregnant. I couldn't do, you know, the photography anymore, but I was still babysitting, so I was still making some money, but it wasn't enough. And After my daughter was born, she was born August 2015, when she was 2 months old. So she was born in August. 2 months later, October, my husband looked at me and he says, we have $100 to last us a week until my next payday. And after having Sydney, I had to quit babysitting because I was super emotional. It was just too much having 2 kids under 2. I was on my own. I did not have the energy or the mental capacity to care for other people's children. And so I had to quit babysitting. So I was no longer contributing income-wise to the family. Breastfeeding is a huge part for me, just like a personal choice, but it was also free. So it was like something we really pushed. It was free was like a big part of it. We didn't qualify for WIC. So, paying for formula was really expensive. So I really made sure that breastfeeding went well for her, because it saved us money there. We just had to pay for diapers for a while. She actually never ended up really eating baby food. She was breastfed for like 13 months straight before she really ate anything. But anyways, she was 2 months old, and he goes, we have $100 to last us a week. He said, you have to get a job. You have to go out. There's no way. We have 2 kids, and we had 2 dogs at that point. We didn't have the cat anymore, and then we acquired another dog. He's like, we can't live like this. And it was super stressful. Those fights where, it's just about money. And so our relationship was strained. We were, checking our bank account before checking out at the grocery store. I would feel guilty if I ever asked, I didn't get my hair done. I didn't pay for my nails. I didn't buy clothes for myself. It was one of those things where I wasn't making any money, so I would feel guilty spending up any of it for any reason. But we also just didn't have any money to spend. So anytime we would go to the grocery store, I would really want a bag of chips or something, but it wasn't in the budget. We didn't have the extra money to do the extras. And so, it was embarrassing, and it's not something I shared at the time. But, I share this part of our story because it is true, and this business has saved us, and I hope it can really help somebody else. But anyways, I broke down crying, thinking about it every day. How was I going to leave 2 kids? Daycare for 2 is, ridiculously expensive. And I told him, I said, look, I'm going to go make minimum wage somewhere that's barely going to cover the cost of daycare and my gas to get to and from work. I'm not going to see any return. Not only am I not going to see a paycheck, but I'm going to be missing out time on my kid's life. I said, that doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make sense. I was looking up places to apply. I was trying. I was looking into maybe even working for a daycare where you got a huge discount for one child. But for the second child, it was still ridiculously expensive. So I was like, that's even out of the question. I was going to do that because then I could take them to work with me and I would still make money, but it wasn't worth it. I was like, look, and he was like, you're right. And I was like, so I don't know what to do. I don't. And, I could have settled and done it anyway and struggled and hated my situation. But I prayed. It was something I cried about. Even thinking about leaving my children literally broke me down. And so I prayed and prayed and prayed, and then I see this post on Facebook from somebody that actually went to high school with my sister. She's 5 years younger than me. I graduated with her sister. Posted about making a $500 bonus from her phone. And I was like, what's that? Because like I said, you guys, I had fallen victim to 2 scams prior, and I was a little hesitant, but I knew this girl. The other 2 people, I knew didn't know them, and whatever. So I asked for info, and she gave me info. I never heard of the company. I had never tried the products. I hadn't seen anything about it on social media ever. And, I told my husband about it, and he goes, does it cost money to join? And I said, yeah, it's $99. And he goes, we have $100 to last us a week. He's like, we don't have the extra $100. And I said, and that's exactly the point. This business, if I can pay and get started for the $99, I can start making a monthly income. And so the simple fact that we don't have an extra $100 to spare means that I need this more than ever. I said, just trust me. I said, I'm going to give it a shot. Like, I'm not a salesperson. I said, but like, I really do not want to send the kids to daycare. I do not want to leave them, and we need to make money. I said, so it sounds a little too good to be true. I said, but just trust me. He was very hesitant. I joined October 2nd, which he got paid on the 1st. So we kind of just sacrificed and watched what we spent throughout the month to make up for that $100. It was like I legit spent our last $100. And I ran with the business, had no idea what I was doing, in ignorance on fire. I'm still learning to this day, and I'm 2.5 years in, almost 3 years now. 3 years in October, and I don't know, 3 months in, I earned that $500 bonus that she had originally posted about, and I was making an average of $500 on top of that a month from my phone. 2 months later, I hit Diamond, which is a top rank in the company, averaging $2,000 a month from my phone, and here I am now. I am now a double diamond in the business, and they average about $5,000 a month from my phone. So right now I'm actually matching my husband's income from home. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have been this entire time. I haven't had to go out and supplement my income with anything. I've not only has this business allowed me to be the mom that I've wanted to be, I get to be the wife that I want to be. I cook and I clean. Anytime, my husband's away at training right now, and he has been basically since January, but anytime he wants us to come visit for the weekend or the week or whatever, I don't have to ask my boss if I can go spend time and my kids can go see my husband. I can get up and go because I am in charge of my own business. So I really like the freedom. Not only do I have financial freedom, but freedom of time, freedom to kind of just do whatever I want. It's been a huge blessing. And so with the military too, you guys, we are leaving at the end of this year, and we're moving. It's, we've been here over 4 years. So it's kind of time to go again. And we're going to Florida. I do not have to stress about finding another job in a completely different state when we get there, and stress about not having money because I'm looking for a job. This business just goes where I go. Wherever my phone is, I can work my business. And so I'm not stressed out. My income is steady. It goes where I go. So it's actually perfect for a military spouse. It's perfect for college. It's literally perfect for everybody. But in my specific case, I can speak on behalf of military spouses. It's just been the biggest blessing. It's allowed us to travel. We visit home a lot. I want my children, we're very family oriented, so I want my children to have a relationship with their grandparents and aunts and uncles and their cousins and all that jazz, and so I can go home when I want to go home. Now, my husband doesn't always get to go with me because he's stuck in the Marine Corps and he has to do what they say, but I have the freedom to do whatever I want. So I do get to go home and make sure that they do get that quality time with family. We're leaving Jacksonville in November and going to Colorado. Yeah, ours is going to be probably December, and we're going to Florida. I don't know how I feel about it because I want to go back to California really bad. But we'll be in Florida for 2 years because he's got flight school, his next training program, because he's going to be a pilot. But yeah, so that's kind of my journey with the business. I earned when I went Diamond, I earned a $20,000 bonus. Like I said, I earned that $500 bonus. I earned a $1,000 Emerald bonus. I've gained countless friendships. Everybody on my team, we're one giant family. People I've never even met before. I use social media. 95% of what I do has just been from my phone. Because when I started, you guys, like I said, I had 2 kids under 2. I was alone. I couldn't just take time off and drop my kids off with my mom for the weekend and focus on working or doing anything really. I didn't have that freedom. My kids have been with me basically 24/7 without a break. And, I couldn't leave the house. So working from my phone was very beneficial for me. I'm very thankful for, the opportunity that this had presented for me and in our time of need. So you guys, I need you to listen to this real quick. One of the biggest reasons that is holding a lot of people back, and I want to hear your guys' reasoning for not joining yet, is that they don't have the extra money to get started. So, spoiler alert. Nobody had the extra money to get started. That's why you're considering this in the first place. Okay? There's a will, there's a way. I spent $99 one time to turn that into a 4-figure monthly income for the last 2.5 years. So, find $99. Borrow it from a friend. You're going to make that money back, okay? Borrow it. Sell some clothes. I can tell you I still have clothes from high school in there that they actually probably fit me now because I've lost like 12 pounds in the last 2 months. But as I've got back on my health train and stuff. So, you know, there are plenty of things you could sell lying around. Borrow it from your mom. You know, we just had the $20 deal hit, which was huge, but I would pay $5,000. Knowing what I know now, I would pay $5,000 to get started in this business because I know what it would do for me and that I would make that money back. So I'm going to go into the specifics of the business real quick. So basically what I do is I post about the products in the business on social media. Now, you can do stuff in person. You can do wrap parties. You can hand out your business card. I wear a lot of our work shirts. Or like, you know, wearing one of our bracelets or something while I'm out and about. You know, I've made money in person selling wraps on hand. I always have, this bag has wraps in it. I always have that on me. Some people have like stopped me in the grocery store because they saw my shirt and they're like, oh my God, do you work for It Works? I'm like, yes. And they're like, do you have 2 wraps? Like I have an event coming up in the next couple weeks and I'm like waiting on my shipment to come in. It's not in yet. And, like, I really like to start wrapping now. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, it's $25 a piece, right? I said, yeah. And so I gave her 2 wraps in the grocery store, and she gave me $50 cash. So that paid for my groceries, part of them. I've made wrap cash in the doctor's office before. And so you can do stuff in person if, like, that's what you're comfortable with. Like I said, I couldn't do much in-person stuff when I started, and I'm pretty actually introverted and shy. Like, if not so much now, because this has really helped get me out of my shell a little bit. I would go to the grocery store and, like, not make eye contact with a single person. Like, please just don't start talking to me, because I usually end up getting super nervous and I'll say something stupid that doesn't make sense and embarrass myself, and then my husband will make fun of me because he used to do that, like, because I end up saying stupid stuff because I'm just super nervous. And so I just, like, tried not to make eye contact with people. I do much better now. Now I do really well with holding a conversation with a stranger. But you know, I use social media primarily. I get to do whatever I want to do, and then anybody who's interested, I send them the information and answer their questions and then sign them up on my website. I make a certain percentage off of our sales, off of my entire team's sales. You can earn wrap cash. We have unlimited weekly $100 bonuses. We have promotional bonuses going on. So there are lots of different ways to make money in this business. You know, I file taxes. The company's been around for 17 or 18 years. We are a debt-free company. I think that happened in 2011. I could be making that up. The year anyways. Let me look real quick. But anyways, our company is amazing. We have plant-based products. Let me see. Hold on. Debt-free 2009. We are in like 23 different countries. We have over 50 plant-based products. We have everything from a skincare line, essential oils, like health and wellness, like weight loss, vitamins, protein, stretch mark cream, wrinkle cream, hair growth, which we talked about all of our products. We have an entire keto line now. We're constantly adding new products. We're constantly opening in new markets. I think our most recent country was South Korea. I have customers in Australia, and that happened because of social media. If it wasn't for social media, I never would have connected with them and made that sale there. And so our company is led by a faith-based team, which I love. Not only does our company care about us, they care about your soul. So it's actually helped renew my faith and just grown my relationship with God. We started going to church. I actually grew up Catholic, but it was kind of one of those things where I was like forced to go, and I hated it because somebody was telling me what to do and I had to go, and I hated it. And I don't remember learning a single thing. I really didn't care about it. So, you know, not only have I made, you know, financial freedom, the freedom to do, just kind of live life and do whatever the heck I want to do. I've got to be the mom I want to be, lifelong friendships, and it's, you know, grown my, you know, faith and relationship with God. So this business has really done a lot for me. And the best part is I get to teach other people how to do the same thing. Now, there's not like a secret to success in this type of business. Basically, it works if you do, pun intended. Any company. Now, you know, obviously, like there are different companies have different perks and stuff. But for us, we have a single product I have a product for everybody. Men, women, young, and old. It's not just a certain market of people. It's for everybody. We even have stuff that are, you know, kid approved. Like our greens blend is kid approved. So we have products for everybody. My market is everybody. I can work from my phone. We don't have required fees, monthly fees. There are no required monthly fees, no minimum quotas each month. There's no penalty for quitting, or say if you don't get any sales this month, there's no penalty. And it's not like they close your account. So like some companies, you have to meet a certain quota each month to even stay active. No, when you sign up, you pay that one-time fee of $99, which gets you a business kit, you guys. You get stuff for that money. And you actually get 4 wraps in your kit, so you can sell them for $25 a piece and make your $100 right back. Which I sold 2 when I got my kit because I wanted to try them. Because like I said, I'd never even heard of the company. I was like, if these wraps work, it would be phenomenal. So one of the first products I tried was the wrap, and it helped get rid of my mom belly. I was like, literally mind blown. It took me about, I think my 3rd wrap is when I started to see the results. Everybody's different. Some see it 45 minutes after the first one. Some people, you know, need a full treatment is 4. I'm not going to go into it, but for me, it was after that 3rd one is when I saw like crazy results. So you can make your money right back, you guys. And I don't know. I want to hear like what's holding everybody back, because the main, you know, fears that I hear from people is they don't have any money. And like I said, we don't purchase and carry inventory either. We have a website. If somebody is interested, you send them to your website and the company ships it directly to them. And that you make a percentage off that commission when they go through your website. So not only do I not have to carry inventory, everything I have is actually for personal use. I will sell things on hand if I like run into somebody, because I have a couple people in my neighborhood who they're customers with somebody else, but every once in a while they run out. I have this lady specifically who likes the Thermophyte, and she like couldn't wait for her other one to come in, so she bought like a couple of my bottles a couple times. And she just gives me like the cash value for it. So, but anyways, you don't have to purchase and carry inventory. You don't have required monthly fees. You don't have minimum quotas. There's no penalty for quitting. Literally, the only way you fail is if you quit. And so the thing that holds people back the most is they don't have the $99 to get started, which, like I said, newsflash, nobody has. That's why we started this in the first place. That they're afraid, they're not a good salesperson. And when you guys tell me that, I'm like, good. I don't want salespeople. I do not want, because if you're a salesperson, I have to like rewire your whole train of thought. I don't consider myself a salesperson. I literally just share my personal experience with the products and the business and other people's experience, and answer people's questions, and they get signed up on my website, and I help them with how to use the products or how to work the business. I'm not a salesperson. So if you're not one, perfect. Check mark. Third, they're afraid that they don't know enough people to sell to. You guys, that is literally like my job, is to teach you how to grow your market. 95% of my sales come from strangers that I meet on social media. And now it's like, when I say strangers, I think some people are like, oh, red flag strangers. But like, there's a way that we filter through people and the way that we protect our business, because I do post about my kids, but I am very particular. And like I said, I have filters and stuff for who I allow on my social media, because, you know, you get to choose who's on your social media, you guys. So yeah, so 95% of my people I've never even met before. Half my team I've never even met before. Okay? Great thing about social media. Like I said, I have customers in Australia. So don't worry about that part. And then the 4th one is people, they're like, you know, I don't have any experience in this type of thing. You know, I wouldn't even know what to do. You guys, I went to school because I was going to be a pharmacist, not because I was going to be a salesperson or a network marketer. I didn't have any experience either. Like I said, I was shy. I didn't like talking to people. So social media helped because I didn't have to talk to people face to face. Like, I could stop and think about what I wanted to say first, so it didn't come out as stupid. Because like I said, I used to just I was stupid when I replied to people because I was nervous. My job is literally to teach you guys how to do what I do. Like all of my tips, all of my tricks. We have team pages. We have daily trainings, not only from myself, but top leaders in the business and the number 4 income earner in the company, who was my upline. I went on a retreat with her. I talked to her at least each month. You guys, we're one big family. It's all about support. There's no negativity. I didn't even know what personal development was before this business. And, I do a lot of personal development. Now, not only am I self-aware, I'm more confident in myself, and it's just really helped me grow as a person. So, like I said, my job is literally to hold your hand every step of the way. Take a leap of faith in yourself, because if you never do it, you're always going to wonder, and then you're going to see the person you've been watching for 5 years and be like, man, I've been watching her 5 years. Imagine if I had joined 5 years ago, where I would be today, because look at where she is now. I am where I am today because of myself and the hard work that I've put in and my leadership in helping my team. I am in control of my paycheck. I am in control of my work schedule. I am in control of, how I want to live my life. And so I want to go back to, you don't have to be a stay-at-home mom to work this business. There are a lot of people on my team who are in college, specifically a lot of nursing students. I'm not sure why, it's just how it's happened. But a lot of people who are in college who do this business on the side for that extra money because, like me, I was too busy to go out and get a job. And I was a broke college student. I needed an income to where it was flexible with my schedule. I had time to focus on the things I needed to focus on for school because it was important, you guys. Like, I was paying, room and board to be there. I didn't want to, flunk out because I was trying to work to pay bills. We actually had, her name is Cheyenne. I've talked about her a few times. She's an amazing person. She joined this business in high school when she was 18. She is 19 now. She is in college, and she just went triple diamond, which is my next rank. They average between $8,000 and $10,000 a month. I know some of you aren't going to believe me, and that's totally fine. You can just keep watching my journey and watching me hit those points. But she's 19. She's in college, and she makes $8,000 to $10,000 a month from her phone doing this business. So, it's perfect college students, dream job. There are people who work full time, like a normal job, okay? And they can still barely pay their bills. I have people who, I wish you guys could see all the conversations I have with people where they're like, I literally work 60 hours a week, or 40 plus hours a week, and our electricity is about to be cut off because we can't even make ends meet. And she goes, I have no time to go out and get another job because I'm already working so much at this job and I still can't afford to just live. That's why people start this business. And I know some of you think you're too busy. I'm telling you, there is not a single person I know that isn't busy. Every single person is busy. Our plates are always full. There will never be a perfect time for you to join this business. There will never be a perfect time. You have to make the time for the things that are important for you. And so some people just want to build a savings account. Maybe you're good, you're paying bills and you guys can go out to eat every once in a while, but you have $0 in your savings, or you want to build a college fund for your kids, or you want to make more than the minimum payment on your student loans or your car payment or your credit card. Maybe you just want to go out and pamper yourself. Like I said, I couldn't afford to go get my hair done or my nails done or anything. I couldn't afford to spend money on myself. Maybe you just want some extra cash to pamper yourself. I don't care what your reason is for wanting a little extra money. You can do this business on your own time, on your own schedule, in your own way. You write your own paychecks. So, a lot of the thing that holds people back is they're like, what if I'm just not successful? I've seen people do this and they fail, and it's not the company, I'm telling you. It's literally the people just give up on themselves. Because it's not a straight line to success. I've had a journey in this business, but you know what? Everything in life is a journey. Everything in life. There's no straight line anywhere. But, wouldn't you rather do it and say you tried than to always wonder and never take that leap? And I cannot stress enough how much this has helped us. I went from having $100 to last us a week to I just treated my top leaders on my team to a houseboat vacation in Tennessee for a week. I couldn't afford an extra bag of chips at the grocery store, and here I am treating people to a vacation. So, this business can do whatever it is that you want to do. You know, whatever it is that you need it for, this can get you there. I have all types of people. I have people who are just turning 18. I have people who are, 40 years old working at the top leaders in this business. I don't know how old Joel and Stephanie are, but they're like my parents' age. I think they're in their 40s. They're the top number 1 income earners. Jade is my number 4 income earner, and she is my age. I think she's turning 29 this month. Actually, I'm older than her by just a month or two. And then we have people like Cheyenne that I just talked about, who's 19, and she's making a ton of money. So this business is for everybody. It can do whatever it is that you need it to do. I live for, I joined this business for the money. What keeps me going now is helping other people accomplish their goals and their dreams. And every time I get a message from somebody who's either using the products and they're seeing these amazing results and they're like legit sobbing because they can't believe what just happened, or people messaging me, what their paycheck was this month and that they can't believe it, and that, that girl I was talking about with her electric, joined the business. I think she paid her cell phone bill late. She called them and said it wasn't going to be on time. She needed an extra couple weeks. She used the money that was going to go towards that, start the business, worked her butt off, and this business helped pay for those bills that she was lacking in because she didn't have time to go out and get another job. So, you guys, what is it that is holding you guys back from starting? I need to know so I can kind of talk about it with you real quick. Or what questions do you have for me even? I will answer anybody's questions. And if you're not watching live, just put your questions in the comments and I will still get to them because I'll get a notification when they go off. I'm a little biased when I say I think we have one of the best teams in this business. Not only is everybody super friendly and positive and helpful and amazing, but we're just one big family, and I want each and every person to go to the top of this business with me on my team. Plenty of room for everybody at the top, that's for sure. And like I said, my mission now is to help other people who are in the situation that I was in get out of that situation, and not have to struggle anymore. That's what drives me now. But yeah, that's about it. That's pretty much my journey, and I'm going to be with this business until the day I die. It's going to allow me to build my dream home one day. My business, working this strictly from my phone as a stay-at-home mom, pays for the van that I have now. We had to upgrade because we have 3 dogs and 2 kids now. My little Honda Civic wasn't doing it anymore. And yeah, so even if it were to just cover one of your bills, this would be totally worth it. So just being able to even afford my car payment would be enough for us. Yeah, they don't know enough people to buy the products. And that's where we come in. We teach you how to grow your market, use social media. And, I've left my business card in Walmart bathrooms or on the shelf or just anywhere, really, restaurants. And I've had people contact me simply for leaving, I leave my business card at the gas pump, so the next person who pumps their gas gets my card. I don't know those people. So we have definitely a lot of tips and tricks on expanding your market, not only on social media, but in person too. So don't worry about that part. Don't worry about knowing anything. Don't worry about being a salesperson. Don't worry about feeling like you don't know enough people. All of that is like, oh gosh, my thing just came undone. All of that is like my job. My job is to teach you guys how to do it. Literally the only requirements you need, you have to pay the $99 to get started, and you need to be coachable. That's it. And you need to be 18. I lied. You need to be 18 and have a smartphone, at least, which if you're watching this, you do. So those 4 things. You need to be 18 for tax purposes, you guys. You have to have a cell phone, smartphone, at least, and be coachable. And then we take care of the rest. So everybody goes their own pace too. Some people run with this business. Some people only work the business to make an extra $500. They don't care about any of the extra money. Like $500 would save their life right now. There are people who join it for more than that. And so, you know, the sky's the limit in terms of what you can make. So, you know, you work your butt off, and you didn't know what MLM was when you started. Yeah, multi-level marketing. It's for direct sales. We do network marketing for direct sales, and it's called an MLM. Some people think that that's the scam because the word MLM like scares them, but pyramid scheme is the word that you want to be afraid of. And those are illegal, and there are no legit products in a pyramid scheme. They like literally make money to sign people who sign people who sign people who sign people. That's a pyramid scheme. We, like I said, file taxes. I have over 50 products. It's energy drink, says it works. We have physical products. I don't make money off of somebody who signs up on my website as a distributor. So we make money off of our commissions. So that's totally different. Yeah, I didn't know what an MLM was either. I didn't know anything about a compensation plan. I had to read our compensation plan probably like 50 times before I even understood it, because like I like waitressed and hostessed. So the funny thing is, you guys, I'm 29 years old and I've never had a big girl job. I was a hostess, was a waitress, and then I worked at our school library in college, and then I babysat for money. And now I do network marketing. I mean, this is a big girl job, but like I've never had to like go to a 9-to-5 or like work for the man. Yeah. Faith just joined. Faith, I'm going to answer your question. I saw it pop up, but I was doing this live. I have a very funny video that is an animation of somebody explaining what a pyramid scheme is, and like anytime that happens, I'm like, so what is it? And they're like, well, it's, you know, it's in the shape of a pyramid. And I'm like, so is like corporate America. So it's a really funny video. I can definitely send it to you so your husband can watch it. It's quite funny. But okay, you guys, if you don't have any other questions, I'm going to go. Thankfully my kids are in bed early. It is now work time for me. You know, you don't have to stay up late like I do. I pretty much work from 9 to 3 in the morning, get up at 7 with my kids. I'm used to no sleep, but, yeah, I skipped a whole part of my journey, but that's okay. I was going to mention another part of it. It's not super important right now. But okay, guys, if you don't have any other questions, I'm going to go. But if you do, or if you're not watching this live and you're watching it later, feel free to, wait, you want to see it too? I'll send it in the team chat. Most people have seen it. I've shared it in there a couple times. It's a pretty funny animation. It's pretty funny. Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in. And I will talk to everybody later.